Hi, I'm Zach Gray. The 23rd movie that I saw in 2017 was A Cure for Wellness. It's directed by Gore Verbinski, who you might know from the original Pirates of the Caribbean trilogy, The Lone Ranger, the original American, The Ring, etc. It stars Dane DeHaan, who you might know from the more recent Amazing Spider-Man movies, Jason Isaacs, who you would know as Lucius Malfoy from Harry Potter, and Mia Goth, who hasn't really been in much. It's about a young executive for a financial institution, Dane DeHaan, who goes to a sanitarium located in the Swiss Alps to get back the CEO who went there a couple years ago, saying that he found a cure for the ailment of modern day society. The CEO needs to be brought back to New York so that the financial institution can do some sort of merger that's never really explained. When I first saw the trailer for this movie, the original trailer, which is just the one that doesn't really show you much, I really liked the atmosphere. I really liked the tone that the trailer oozed from it. I thought that it looked really interesting, but I didn't know what it was necessarily about. When the Red Band trailer finally came out and showed a little bit more plot details, I was less excited, but I still thought that the tone looked really cool. Overall, I really liked this movie. It's a little long, at 2 hours and 26 minutes, and it's not for everybody. I definitely would not recommend everybody go see this movie, but for me personally, and these are my reviews, I really, really liked this movie. The main thing about it that makes it special is that it's very slow moving. It really cares about the atmosphere of the sanitarium. It drips out the information and the secrets and the twists very slowly. Some of the twists and turns are very predictable, but I was never mad when they ended up being what I expected them to be, because I just enjoyed watching the movie. The ending ends up being a little bit more overdramatic than I expected it to be, but I wasn't even that upset about that either, because it all felt like it worked in the world of the movie. This movie is basically about how stressful modern society is when we go from place to place to place, trying to make money, trying to support ourselves, and not really taking time for ourselves. And so the older people that go to the sanitarium are all rich, they've all made a lot of money, and they are trying to relax. And Jason Isaacs, who runs the sanitarium, says that he has a cure for them that will allow them to take away the toxins that make them unwell caused by the modern society. So this movie wants to know, what is this cure? Is he doing it for the right reasons? Is there some kind of sinister idea behind his philanthropy? What's going on with the CEO that Dane DeHaan is supposed to bring back? What's going on with Dane DeHaan? Where is his backstory coming from? Etc., etc., etc. I don't want to go into too many details because I really like the way that this movie goes about explaining what's going on and doling out the small piece of information that it doles out. When you finally learn what's really going on, it doesn't even make that big of a deal about it until the very end. It just gives you the information in the same way that it's been giving information this entire time. Now, granted, I figured out what was going on about halfway through, which seems bad because it's such a long movie, but as I said earlier, I really didn't care because I wanted to see more of this world. If you're not the kind of person that is okay with people walking very slowly and searching through areas really slowly trying to figure out what's going on, this movie is definitely not for you. If you think that this movie sounds weird, that's a little too pretentious, or that it has broad ambitions that don't really interest you all that much, this movie is not for you. I liked this movie because I really enjoy the horror genre in general. And while this movie isn't serial killer, slasher, scary, it has a sense of dread throughout it because you're wondering what's going on and what's right behind the curtain the entire time. The music does a really good job of building that tension and making everything feel a little weird. The scenery is gorgeous. It takes place in the Swiss Alps, and it was filmed in Germany, so everything looks fantastic. There's these beautiful vistas of mountains outside the sanitarium that just look incredible. And so the constant struggle is, Dane DeHaan knows that he has something that he's supposed to do, but also the things that Jason Isaacs are preaching sound good. They sound too good to be true. Overall, this is a horror movie with a lot of atmosphere, a really consistent tone, decent acting, especially from Jason Isaacs. Dane DeHaan is okay, but nothing to write home about. It has beautiful vistas, amazing music, a really interesting story. For people that are even slightly interested in this, I can't recommend this to you enough. You might not like it as much as I did. It might not work for you as much as it worked for me, but it's worth seeing. It's worth experiencing. It might not be for everybody, but for the people that it is for, it's hard to find a better movie of this type.